welcome to Positive Energy with Crystals. My name is Hillary, and today we're going to talk about um, crystals for grief. Um, I'm sorry I'm zoomed up so close, but I wanted to make sure that everything was in focus, and the only way to do that right now is to get it really, really close. Um, Now, I know I've sort of talked about crystals for grief before. Um, I use Angelite, oops, Apache Tears, Amethyst, and just recently I started using smoky quartz. Um, so these are what I use, and I'll go over how each of these helps, but also I'm going to share some other ones. The other ones I haven't used. It's more of a I heard it works and I could understand how it works kind of thing. But I wanted to give you more options than just these four that I use, because the crystals work different for everybody, and um I want to make sure that you've got options and not just tell you what works for me. These are the ones that work for me, and we'll go over all of them here in a minute. But I just wanted to let you know that's um that's what this is going to be. This is most of the my recipe type videos. I try to focus on ones I've worked with, but in this case, I want to kind of give you more options. So let's get started. First, we're going to start with Angelite, and I've talked about Angelite before. I've done a monthly video with it. Angelite, I think, is an amazing stone. My husband got me my angel just recently, and I love this angel. I leave it out all the time, and it helps a lot. So Angelite, it comforts and supports, and I've used it not just in grieving. That's one thing. Grief doesn't. It's not just somebody passing. It could be loss of a job, moving, um, just it doesn't have to be just grief over losing a loved. Angelite, I believe, is a very super comforting stone. I use it just when I'm feeling down and I just need that little extra comfort. I pull now. If you've watched my other videos, I have a different piece that I carry because it's all dinged up. But um, these are the ones that I'll put this one in a bowl or something, and then this one just sits out all the time. It helps with the expression of grief, so it helps you release it and in a healthy way. It amplifies your sense of connection with those of past. So if you had somebody that passed away and you just need to feel like they're there, this can kind of help you out with that. So next, let's go to amethyst. I'm going to bring out a few different amethysts. So, as you know, if you've watched any of my other videos, amethyst is my favorite stone. It's um, it's my go-to. Um, I've got all sorts of different. I've got some small ones. I should have grabbed them. Or let me grab this one too. This is the one I carry with me. It's always in my pocket. This point I love because I can point it. If I'm doing something, I can point it at me. Or if there's something going on, I can point it at a different person. I've got one of these in a wire cage pendant that I like to wear when I'm going into a stressful thing, or I just want that extra calming for some reason. This is my new piece, or newest piece, I should say. So amethyst, it's a very calming stone. It's also a protective stone, which a lot of the stones that I'm going to show you today, for grief, there's a lot of protection crystals that I'm going to show you. And that's just because when you're grieving, you're not focused on you know, protection of yourself or making sure that bad energies are staying away from you. You're focused on your feelings, and so having all protection crystals on you, it's a very good idea. So amethyst is good for the calming, good for protection, and it also helps you gently work through the grief, so you can get through or work through it in a healthy way. All right, the next one is another of my favorites, and that is Apache's Tears. And I've tried showing it before, but if you hold it up to light, let's see if I get rid of the, no, darn. If you hold it up to light, you can see through it. It's made from volcanic ashes turned into like a glass. So this is my favorite protection stone during grief. I'll pair this up with angelite and I'm good to go. So Apache Tears lend support during times of sorrow. They help you accept and release grief. It lifts depression. It's grounding, and it can lighten the burden of grief. Like I said, it's probably my favorite protection stone during grief. See, if you watched my other videos, black tourmaline is my favorite overall protection stone, but this one just, it's the one, like I've said before, angelite that is there to give you that supportive back rub. The Apache Tears is there to watch your back, is how I feel when I carry these two stones during grief. All right, the next one, where is it, is selenite, and I've got this bar, and I've also got globes, and I've also got a bowl, but it's not going to fit the camera. Selenite right now is the crystal I'm working with for this month. So beginning of February, you'll see what I thought of carrying selenite with me all the time. But it helps with mental clarity. It's energy cleansing. It's a calming, and it brings deep peace. And I will say, just from what I've worked with it so far, that mental clarity part, that's for real. That's definitely helped kind of organize thoughts, plan out stuff. I'll get into more of that later, but definitely the mental clarity part is definitely true on selenite. All right, next we're gonna go with smoky quartz, and this is my favorite piece. And smoky quartz, I didn't used to work with it so much during grief, and I think it's because kind of like my amethyst, the lighter amethyst, I wasn't as connected to it as the darker banded amethyst. And the same goes with smoky quartz. This piece is my darkest piece. And let me see if I can grab another piece real quick. They look really similar in the camera, but this one, oh, there we can see. It's not as dark as this one. And I've got some tumbled stones that are really light. They're still smoky quartz, but I'm not as connected with them as I am these darker ones. And this one is from Colorado, where we used to live, and I love it. And I don't know if it's because it's the darker smokiness, or if it's just from Colorado, but I love this piece. So I don't carry this in my pocket though. If I want to carry a piece, I'd probably put this piece in, but just having it set with, set with my angel. So if I did something like this, that's good for me. I like that. And once again, um, smoky quartz is also a protective stone. So there's, one more protective stone. But it elevates your mood and it helps in relieving grief. And I love this piece. Okay, enough with smoky quartz. Bloodstone. Bloodstone I haven't worked much with. I've used it for manifesting. There's this piece, and then let me grab this piece too. I've got a lot, but I haven't really worked with it much. But it helps provide solace and comfort during grief. So there's bloodstone. All right, the next one, I don't know if this is gonna, we're gonna bring in one of the, that's not gonna, let me see if I can zoom out a little bit. Nope, we'll just stay zoomed in on the, okay, so this is one of my oracle cards, Judy Hall, from Judy Hall's deck. I'll put a link in the description to it. I've done a video on this, just like in situations like this. This is rhodochrosite. Now, pretty much all rhodochrosite that I've ever, well, I haven't seen a lot, but when I first was introduced to it, this is what it looks like. Mostly pink, some kind of layers of the grays and whites. And then when I bought a piece, it's like this. So I wanted to show both. This is from a mine in Colorado too. So I have a feeling, like if you go to buy a piece that looks like this, it's expensive. This wasn't expensive. So I have a feeling like this is the edge of the vein or whatever you call it. And something like this would be more in the middle of it, and that's why this would be more expensive than this. So I wanted to show both of them. So rhodochrosite helps lift depression. It can encourage you. It helps with positive and a cheerful outlook. So when you're like, say you lost your job, this could help you get rid of that depression and encourage you to find your next job. In moving, find your next house, next job, whatever. And it helps you have a positive and happy, look towards the future in a positive, happy way. So that's rhodochrosite. All right, next one is amazonite. I should have pulled my other ones too, but this is the piece that I had handy. So amazonite is soothing and calming. It soothes emotional trauma. It can help with worry and fear. So it's another stone I haven't worked with much, but from the research I've done, I could see how it would definitely help with grief. All right, black onyx is the next one. And it's a black stone, so usually black stones means protection. So we got another protection stone here. Onyx is a very powerful protection stone. It also helps support you during times of stress, confusion, and grief. So like the Apache tear, it's there to watch your back and just watch out for you. All right, jet. And this one looks just like this one, but there's areas, I don't know if you can catch it on camera. See if I can focus better. You can kind of see it right there. See that white? I don't know if you can see it very good. So that's how I tell these apart. I try to keep them separate so I don't get them mixed up. But if they do get mixed up, I just look for that. I don't know what it is. That lighter area through there. Anyway, jet, also another protection stone, but it also helps. It helps heal grief. So it's a good one in the healing process. All right, ruby and zoisite. This one I've used it for manifestation work, in my manifestation bowls, but I haven't worked with it very much. I'll have to do a monthly video on it too. It helps with the mourning process, and it helps release the pain from that process and the sorrow after a death, and it kind of helps in that same thing, in that healing process. And I just realized I'm missing a stone. Hold on, I'll go find it. Okay, I couldn't find it, but the other piece, I'll put a picture in here. It is desert rose selenite, and it helps you deal with the grief. So that one is fairly new to me too. I haven't worked much with it. I don't know how it relates to regular selenite or anything like that. But if you have any questions, put them in the comments. If there's anything that you would add, if there's a certain crystal you use for grief, put it in the comments too. I want to know what everybody else is using too. If you like the video, go ahead and like it, and be sure to subscribe, because Instagram and I aren't getting along. So if you follow the Instagram page, you'll notice that it hasn't had any posts in a couple weeks, because it's not working right and it's making me angry. So be sure to subscribe so you'll get notified when there's a new episode. That's it for crystals for helping with grief, and I will see you next week.